Hello, Pichan.
Dragon Ball Daima. Hello, Jab.
Yep,
Let's talk about the finale. Well, the two last episodes
yep.
of this series.
It's Dragon Ball Daima. It
It was a
was,
nice little treat, especially as departing from our from the creator. So
yep.
yes. So last episode we see that it's Goku's turn to take on the bad guy because they're taking turns.
I mean, it was first
Well,
Vegeta.
yeah, Vegeta started to struggle. So Goku starts to get anxious about being his turn and starts putting a plot with Piccolo about how about attacking the dude. Oh, but I forgot to with or you should mention how they found out the weak spot for this
Yeah,
monster. Such a funny thing that this eye is. It's really the villain in the story.
yeah.
Um,
I like that it was
yeah.
three hits to the back of the head was like the main weak
Yeah,
point.
I
Eh,
love that it was the evil witch that was like, I have like a book that tells me everything.
Yep.
Like she's like back to like the nerd, like doctor kind of, like
Yeah. Rinsu. Yeah.
true to the true to the character, being like a nerd kind of thing,
Yeah.
And yeah, I like that the dudes, went and fetched it. I thought it was sweet. I mean, I was very impressed that she thought about it and she shared that knowledge.
Yeah. And
And yeah,
I mean, I like that our
good.
prediction came true and that Glorio became his own man, right? And was like,
Yes,
you know,
even though she really felt hurt about it,
yeah, you could
she
tell she
she
felt
kind
hurt
of
about
like,
it.
yeah, she kind of felt that betrayed because she saved him,
Yeah.
and he did seem genuinely like grateful.
Yeah.
So
I I do like that it wasn't just Arinsu that felt betrayed, right? But Gloria also had like how you say like guilt because
oh yeah.
he realized, man, I really am pulling one over around the people that I've been
Mhm.
hanging out with. It's like he had no idea how they were gonna take it, knowing that he used to work for Arinsu, right? This entire time.
Mhm. I know, right? Oh yeah, when he was like walking back
Yeah,
to them, kind of having a little walk of shame there, like
yeah.
yeah.
But it was nice because Pansy was like, you know what, you are
Oh yeah,
part of the gang.
Pansy went straight to like, you saved us, you did a great kind of thing. Yeah,
Yeah,
Pansy's legit. Pansy's a real one.
yeah, she is.
Mhm.
And the other one that's I guess you could say is a real one is Vegeta, because
Oh yeah.
as soon as he found out his wife was not gonna let him have a bath with her, he's like, you know what, Goku, maybe it
You
is
can
your turn.
yeah, you have your turn. You can have your yeah, you can go at it. That was so funny for sure.
Yeah, no, I did enjoy Vegeta's fight. It was really well animated. Obviously, like Daima
Yeah, it
just
really was.
yeah,
And he did, transform like he did get to like transform to, but not to that level that kind of looks like. I know that he didn't have the fourth, like looks like a monkey for pink monkey, but the one before, like with the big
yeah,
forehead
Super Saiyan 3.
and yeah, I don't think he reached that one for this one. He did it before, but I don't think.
No, he did. It just
Oh, he did. He did.
yeah,
Oh,
it just wasn't as long as Goku's hair. That's all.
for long. Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah. I guess.
speaking of Goku, I loved the callback to that thing with Boo. You know, like this is Super Saiyan 1, this is Super Saiyan 2, and this is like
Mm-hmm.
going further beyond, right? And it's like and this, a Super Saiyan 4, and then that was that was chills. That was chills for me. Like
Mm-hmm.
I love all the callbacks that they've done in the show. I love it's like a love letter to the fans, really. Also,
Mm-hmm. I agree.
but no, yeah. That episode 19 was so good for giving us that Vegeta character moment and the full Super Saiyan 4 in adult form. Which funny enough, you said you've never watched GT, right?
No, yeah, I didn't. Mm-mm.
So in GT, it will Goku goes Super Saiyan 4, but it's the hair is black, so it's not
Okay.
so it's not like the pinkish red that we see in Daima.
Yeah. Okay.
It's pretty cool, but yeah, no, in the final episode, the get busy with the with fighting once again. Like Goku and Goma really go at it. It was
Mm-hmm.
it was such a good fight. Like probably one of the best animated fights this year.
Yes. It was beautiful. Yeah, it was great. I was having such a good time.
Yeah, I love that they skipped the opening. Like they went straight into the episode. They didn't really
Mm-hmm.
waste our time. They were like,
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna just cut the intro short and just have them go at it. So that was great, and it really was good seeing how much stronger Super Saiyan 4 was compared to Super Saiyan 3 from Vegeta. Right? It was
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
even though Goma was coming back like multiple times and seemingly like well, not seemingly, he was unfazed or like untired because the third eye prevented him from getting tired, and Goku was still like
Oh
got the
yeah,
better
as
of him for like
regenerating.
yeah, Goku got the better of him for like 3 times though. So and that Hameha that like blasted a hole through him, that was
Oh
crazy.
wow, that was so great. I thought it was such well animated too. Like, damn,
No, yeah, it was.
what an art form in a way.
Yeah, definitely. I think this is gonna be a good anime to like re-binge and dub once
Oh
everything's
yeah,
stopped.
yeah, I agree. I'm waiting for all the dubs to be dropped.
Yeah, so am I. And we did finally beat Goma. Uh, how did you feel about Ku being the one to land the final blow?
I love it. I thought it was so legit to really put in um to tie a few ends in a way, because then he gets to stay as the demon lord or the demon king. So it's not like that. I was I didn't find anything to complain about it. And yeah, I like that he was all about sharing it with her too.
Oh yeah,
Like,
with everybody actually. He's like, you're
well,
Prime
with
Master.
everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, with everybody, making everybody a minister. Uh,
Even imagine
yeah, it
do.
was really fun. It was fun. I like that Goku was just ready to go home.
Yeah, and even more so, like I do like how even Arinsu like towards the end, you could really feel like she's not really evil. Like even like
Oh
Supreme
yeah,
Kai was
and
like,
everybody was kind of teasing her at the end of that too. Like,
yeah,
oh, you have a good heart. Like, yeah,
yeah. Even
you're
imagine,
smart, but you have a good heart. Yeah, that's really nice. Yeah, it was nice for them.
yeah, it really great. I I just love those moments when you really get to sit with the characters, be like, yeah, so you're not so bad. Um,
I like that she brings her witch to give them internal punishment to them,
oh
and pulls the other dude.
Yeah,
She had already caught him and shit. Like,
yeah. Which they used kind of like the technique that Master Roshi uses. It was like done there to like seal them away.
I, I like that it was. I didn't realize it was that, but because for me it was like genie in the bottle. Like,
Oh no no no! I think that's like the technique from from like OG Dragon Ball, like Master Roshi used to seal the King Piccolo.
mm,
But I guess in a way it is kind of like magic in a bottle. But it's interesting
mm,
to see that there there is like a origin to this technique now. It's
mm-hmm.
not just that Master Roshi like learned how to do it, but like it actually came from the demon world, and that's why it's effective on King
Right.
Piccolo. Yeah, great great stuff. I love the throwback to the, well, not throwback, but the line of like like it's a Super Saiyan Cell bargain, which was done and also like in a during like when Trunks became a Super Saiyan, I think in the Cell Saga or the Android Saga. Just small
Yeah.
throwbacks like that are really nice, and we never really found out what happened with the bugs. They were just like gone. So Goku was like,
Oh yeah. No, but I mean, I guess the point was because they would go back. They would go
to,
to the shop.
yeah. Which Bulma at first was like, let me not touch these bugs, and they're like, oh, but if you eat one, it'll make you 10 years younger, and she takes like the whole load.
She whole thing.
Yeah.
She ain't ashamed of her game.
No,
Like
yeah,
she was just looking at her face back, just like, oh, I'm not young anymore.
yeah. She saw
And
her scarecrow things, on her eyes, and it's like, yeah,
he's
uh,
so funny.
yeah,
I love that the Pansy goes and finds the eyes and the origin of the eye.
yeah. To
How
to
comical.
to realize it was just part of the shop the entire time. It's like,
The entire time. They could have just gone there and gotten a pair themselves. I'm just kidding.
yeah,
That's hilarious, dude.
yep.
I thought it was funny.
But I guess it makes sense because they called it like the third eye demon thing, right? And there's like three eyes. You know,
Mm-hmm.
cool,
Yeah.
cool little detail. But yeah, that was such a Toriyama humor. I enjoyed it a lot.
Right. Me too. Me too. I felt that way too.
But I'm sad that's the last thing we're getting from Toriyama. Now we just gotta wait for Super to come back.
Right. That's exactly what I was thinking about. You know, it's like at least there's more super.
So yeah, but um, yeah. Overall, what do you give Daima?
Oh, I loved it. Like we've been talking throughout the whole time of the series. It really finally gave a lot of origins and backstories and just like explanation and more of like in uh like in yeah encyclopedia of Dragon Ball
Yeah,
and everybody there. Yeah, it was really really great. I love it. Yeah, I love that. I enjoyed it. I'm glad
yeah,
we got that, especially like I said, as a parting gift since he sadly passed away as well. So,
yeah. Which I think it was today. I think it was his day of passing.
hmm
So it's you know saddening, and you know best wishes to the family still. Uh, but I personally, for me, like I loved it. Like you said, we talked about it every week. I think for me, this feels like it should have been the continuation to Dragon Ball, and I
hmm
feel like my own personal like opinion on it. I think this is like a separate timeline than Super, because in Super we don't see Vegeta go Super Saiyan 3, and we don't ever hear about Goku going Super Saiyan 4, which
hmm
in this one he said he was training after Boo to like achieve Super Saiyan 4. So I feel
Right.
like it could be two separate timelines for Dragon Ball that we could explore, like the Daima route or the
Mm-hmm.
Super route. Which you know,
I see.
even in Dragon Ball Super, like I feel like the what's it, the God Saiyan mode, whatever, right? If it has
Mm-hmm.
like similar hair color to Super Saiyan 4. So like I feel like I don't know, it feels good. Uh Either, we see Super Saiyan 4 sometime down the line in Super, or they're gonna have to do a lot of oh, I forgot how to do it or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, yeah, for me, I think I give it like an 8 out of 10 because it's just a great journey.
Definitely. Definitely an 8 out of 10.
Uh,
Loved it. I enjoyed it very much.
Me too.
And ready for a rewatch.
Yeah, in like a month when the entire
Mm-hmm.
dub catches up.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that's it on Bogus Skill.
Bogus skill.
We got two
Um,
episodes.
okay,
So,
we got another double.
yeah.
Yes.
I mean, this just feels like a good one to do in double because not a lot happens.
Mm-hmm. Well, the fight finally it's
Concludes.
done.
Yep.
Yeah, concludes. It was a little dragging for 3 episodes, I feel like. But yeah, it finally concludes.
Yeah, I mean, it
And he
dragged.
lives
Yeah.
and he's, knocked out, but yeah, it was it was really good. We see that the girl is really making her way to the origin of the ballerina one.
Yeah, I mean,
So I thought that was um mhm.
well, before we get to the girl portion, which was probably the more interesting one, right? Uh,
Mhm.
I do gotta say, like, I love that we did get a conclusion to Monica's like whole like, oh, I'm not gonna build weapons anymore arc,
Oh yes,
which
she
is
definitely did.
why it took so long because we needed to have like proper time to like really get to know her and really see what the deal was with her. I love that even at the end of the fight that Light had with the lightning user, the sword breaks, so now she's forced to make him another one.
Yeah. Mhm. She's definitely
And we
like
do get we do get another useful skill for our boy Light, the torch flame.
yes. Yes. And it helped him. Yeah, it helped him at the end. It was what helped him. What was it? What was the skill? Sorry, what did you say?
I think he called it like torch flame or something like that. So it lets him like
Oh
light
yeah,
up.
it was like the fireball. It was like the typical fireball one. Yeah.
Yeah, it lets him like
With the
infuse his fire on himself and objects and
yeah.
shoot fire too. Kind of like the lightning
Mm-hmm.
guy. And they did have like a
Mm-hmm.
Dragon Ball esque kind of clash for his win too, which was cool. But
Yeah.
but yeah, I mean, not much in that episode. Uh, the Lena episode though. Yep. Uh, he definitely made it to the capital, or,
Right.
where the girl was, and we found out a lot about Jetana. I feel like in this
Yeah, we really did. I like that we she teams up with like another, bird, like someone from the government, like
yeah, the bureau.
and they're doing yeah, bureau, yeah, and they're doing their own investigation and whatnot. And she's definitely seems to be on, doing her own thing or whatever. But I definitely like that they joined forces, because she was not going anywhere. As we saw, like, just asking for that girl's name was like taboo. They were like turning her, away and things like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Um,
I mean, we learned that she came from like a very noble family that uh, fell into ruin, sadly. Like typical. And
and
it's
then she was to blame in a
yeah,
way, like,
yeah, which just goes back to like the previous not the previous arc that she was in with the guy.
hmm
How his skill was deemed as cursed as well, and how it kind
yeah,
of
like,
just people just
hmm
have put this label on people, and they start
hmm
heading towards that route. Like they're evil, or you know they're not even human, stuff like that. And I just like how they
right.
that's one of the common themes that they keep bringing up. Like the skills are not always useful to the user.
hmm
It can actually be like their own downfall, or like something that like heavily weighs on them.
Yes, agreed. Agreed.
uh
Um,
oh. Flower Hat Girl, how'd you feel about her though after finding out how she conducts her investigations?
a toughie. She's a toughie, but I mean, she's a professional. She's been doing this, so she knows what she's doing. Um, I like that. Definitely figured that as soon as they start finding out, because she knows already the whereabouts of the girl, right? And that's why she joins them, because she wasn't getting anywhere, and they at least had a lead. And
Yep.
and I like that the first thing she says, like, don't butt in, right? Like, to the way that I do my things.
Yep.
She's going to, like, come along, kind of thing. And the other, um, I did, she's already having the monologue in her head about how, like, oh, as she's hearing about the past of this girl, whatever, and she likes dancing, and she's dancing in this, or gonna take part of the performance. Um, yeah, I thought it was very sweet and predictable that she was gonna pity her.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, for sure.
so quickly, especially when she was there to hunt her down. But I mean, that is the best way to get back at the sister. But who knows? Because as we hear from the informative, like, the sister might be someone very important to her. Like her savior in a way.
Yeah.
So yeah.
No, it's definitely I definitely like the whole like dance thing too, because it was they
Hmm.
mentioned that the dance was kind of like a ritual to like keep the city protected, and also like it was always done by like a noble family, which would boost like
Hmm.
their overall status and reputation. So it was kind of like this was her way
Hmm.
to kind of like atone for who she was as a person, even though
Yeah.
she wasn't really to blame for what she did or what she could
Right.
do. But
Agreed.
and the whole like when Lena intervened with interrogations and stuff, the whole
Yeah.
monologue of how she is still trying to find out her own justice, and in that moment she thinks of Light and what he would do.
Right.
I thought that was nice, like have Light is the one that's really showing her what they what they talked about, like when they were children, like of being like the hero and whatnot
Right.
and
Right.
saviors. And obviously like the flower hat girl has her own form of justice, and that's why they were meant to clash once they found out Jadna.
Yeah. 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 For sure. For sure.
And Light is back and running, doing workouts already.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was gonna say that he's yeah. The girl is so like, what are you doing? Like, you need to rest. And he's like, no, 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 no. I
And
need to
yeah, because he's going on
take
a
charge.
yeah, he's going on an S class quest, I believe, after his weapon is done. So he's like, yeah, I gotta get in shape, and then everything turns to shit pretty much because now the city is quaking because somebody awakened something they shouldn't have, which we'll find out, I think, in the next
Hmm.
episode. What's going on with the birds not even wanting to fly up in the air?
Yeah, yeah.
Something,
Seemed like something was, yeah, like
yes,
coming to be. Yeah, I'm liking this anime. I'm really excited of more powers that he's going to get,
yeah, and this,
and how the sister is going to react to this.
yeah. Oh,
Bec-
we didn't
mhm,
mention this, but I think the sister
mhm.
in the previous episode, 8, she was like, "Oh, everything's going according to her plan," but as soon as Light acquired a new power, it was like, "Oh no, now it changed." You know. So,
Yeah, and she has like this mirror.
yep.
Like, what's that mirror? Like, and yeah, because that's what seems to have changed. Like,
Hmm.
I don't know. And does she need her eyes to see that mirror through that mirror? I don't know.
Yeah, that
It's
mirror
such
is
a
is going to be interesting to figure out what the
yeah,
deal with it is.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but like you, I'm
I mean,
I'm
she's got something on her under her sleeve for sure. Like this woman
I
is
mean,
definitely planning or
she's the top leader,
doing
like misguiding everybody, and
definitely.
she, like she says, she does evaluations, like hundreds of evaluations a year or something like that. So like she knows everybody with what skill they have. I'm assuming she keeps track of the most important people. You know,
Mhm. Mhm.
so
No,
they'll.
it seems like she just there's a reason why she's like the most important, powerful person in there.
Yep.
Like, yeah.
It'll be interesting to find out more. Hopefully before the series ends, because I think we got like 4 more episodes now.
Right, right. I hope. Me too. That's kind of where I'm hoping to that we get a little bit more of like what the fuck is she like? Yeah. What is she planning? What is she like? After.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, and like you, I really enjoyed this anime. Like I think it's a nice anime to put on. Sometimes it gives me like some food for thought, and other times it's just a good vibe to watch. But
I agree.
that's all I have on Bogus Skill
Okay,
Fruitmaster. You,
cool. Me too.
yeah, Dr. Stone.
Dr. Stone. So Luna is like super like infiltrated, like she is there, part of it.
I
And
mean,
Senku's like trying to, yeah,
yeah, she is. Go ahead.
yeah. And I was just gonna say like how like Senku has been trying to like charm to get information while she's does think that he's the the only worthy of a crush. So that's been a comic thing. Oh, but it's been a lot of their life, like a lot of their past.
Yep.
Like we saw a lot of the how they got penetrated or what they were doing, right? Because we know what Senku and his friends were doing when the penetration happened or penetration happened.
Yeah,
So
and we
and then
also
we got to see where this other people science team, you know, were doing, and we see that they're like part of NASA, and we're about to take like on a big project or something, and
no, it kept getting
no,
rejected.
actually they were. Yeah, exactly. It kept getting rejected, but they were getting information like of this, right? They were getting information of this phenomenon, and he was researching about it, just like Senku was,
Yeah.
and I thought it was kind of legit too.
Yeah, it was nice
too.
seeing like the parallels between Senku and
Yes, and
Senno.
him.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Mm.
Meanwhile, while Senku was like getting more and more in love with like science, as he kept learning it more and more from Senno, Senno just kept
Right.
hating that his form of like trying to acquire science and get this project kept getting rejected over and over again. And I think that kind of like saw that that's what like kind of spiraled him to be into who he is now, because
Yeah.
whatever he
And it
wanted.
was so interesting that Senku's dad was there when when he vocalized them, right? Those feelings, and said that if a world come to an end and he was like the only man, the last man standing in a way, he would try to conquer it and like, and
Yep,
be a king over helping it go back to what it was, right? Like
yep,
like he would prefer to rule it and say it make it absolute to his will than bend to anyone's will ever again. I thought it was, yeah, pretty much what you were saying too. Like kind of seemed that he didn't take all
yeah. It
those
was
rejections pretty well.
yeah, and I love that even Senko's dad was like, well, if people were gone, one day, and the world restarted over, like people would still come to try and
Yeah,
produce science in one
right,
way
right.
or
Like there's always going to be someone, right? Like you're never
which
going to be like the only person in the whole world. So a person's going to come along and just do it differently than you, and
yeah,
be the opposition kind of thing, right? Take your
yeah,
opposition. Like there's always going to be an opposition. Like
yep,
there's no shit as an absolute, especially in ideology, like for humans and shit. Like
yeah, which it ended up even like without Senku, right? It was still kind of true what Senku's dad said, because Chrome was kind of like that person that was intrigued by
right,
minerals and stuff.
right, yeah, exactly.
So I love
Just the
how
thing speed it up like 1,000 times. Yeah, exactly.
yep, it's just all it takes is that one person to be curious, which is I always love that when
Mm-hmm.
they bring that back. But yeah, I love that they both Senku and this guy were like studying the swallows, right? Swallows, whatever, the
Mm-hmm.
bird, and they
Mm-hmm.
realized,
Yeah.
these are these are still alive and thinking. They just are not moving.
Yeah, it's still conscious.
Yeah, and that's how he realized if there was a way to, if this ever occurred to them, all they had to do was keep thinking and not let themselves like fade away, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which is what Senku also knew about and was like, well, I know somebody that's just as stubborn as me to stay alive, and his was Taiju, which is the muscle, which is Senku's
Yeah.
muscle, and of course Senku has Stanley, which, by the way, he looked way more buff when he didn't have clothes on, like,
Mm-hmm.
which, yeah, they definitely slender him a bit, and I love how the first thing that Stanley tried to do was like get a cigarette, but it's like, yeah, we kind of don't have that. Um,
Yeah.
and I do love how different their parallels were, because Senu
Mm-hmm.
right off the bat he got platinum, right? Because that one ring of the guy that tried to propose to Luna, and he like kept it in his mouth. It was made of platinum, so he got like a early head start on the acid that Senku was trying to produce.
Right.
Meanwhile, Senku had to like work his way and find the reserves that his dad was like acquiring with time, and
Right.
it was
Right.
like it's just these two are like so good at perils because like I love how they put it right. Senno's like science is for taking lives, while Senku's
Mm-hmm.
science is for like acquiring a life or like giving life.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just so
Correct. Creating. Mm-hmm.
yeah. And I was just saying that's just like what I really love, like how they're so opposite of one another, even though they both love the same thing.
Yes.
And once again, like now that we're back in the present, and I love that they did meet. First of all, how'd you like the small meeting that they had, where like they didn't even need to introduce themselves. They just knew who the other was.
Right. Yeah. No, I mean it was great. I really like how they had like a little, like, honestly it seemed like they didn't have any trouble at all to be in the stage that they were at, you know? It felt like they got back to conscious, acquired the silver, the corn, and build like this, headquarters or whatever. And then the dude finds tobacco, and is able to like get his cigarettes too. Like that's how
Yeah,
quick, they got everything they needed. Like they didn't even miss one,
yeah,
anything. Nothing was missing there. Um, Definitely shows the relationship. I felt like, seems like those two are the closest ones. The dude, the doctor and the sniper.
Stanley and
Um,
Senno. Yeah,
yeah, yeah, they seem to be like, you know, the closest. Um,
I mean, yeah, it's kind of
and
like it's kind of like the
mhm,
relationships Senku has with Taiju as well. Like they're
mhm,
close,
yeah,
and it's like just different because like while Senku doesn't necessarily um give Taiju orders, he does tell him like we kind of need this, and Taiju does it out of the kindness of his
yeah,
heart. While meanwhile, Zeno's kind of more like on, like he's very much like on top of it, right? Like power, like gives orders, and even Stanley was like, when he's trying to shoot Senku, right? He was like, "Hey, before I pull this trigger, are you sure?" Because like,
mhm,
Senna realized who Senku was right off the bat because Luna said so, right?
mhm,
Luna kind of
yeah,
like sold him out that Senku was on board, and Senna was like, "Oh, given the time that I met him, how old he was, and how much time may have passed. He's probably around like 5'8",
mhm,
and it it's just like both Senku and Seno have such and quick thinking and kind of like big minds that you kind of you kind of feel like they have like a special connection, and that's what Stanley kind of
mhm,
felt when he was telling him about Senku, and Stanley was just making sure like I could kill him now, but do you want me to, for real?
yeah, yeah. That was incredible. That was really, really good. And he did,
He hesitated for a
give it some
second.
thought. Yeah, he did give it a second, but he still gave the green lights. And of course, Senku, like, uh, tried to protect himself,
Yeah.
and he does all this shit. Oh my god, he
Yeah.
gets this like, I don't know, flour and puts liquid in it. Oh my god, my baby. I just hope he's okay. I mean, I know he'll survive, but I just
Yeah.
hope he's okay.
I hope whatever he was trying to do at least hardened somewhat to soften the blow. It seemed like
Mm,
the
he
the
got blood.
yeah, there's blood, but the bullets kind of split like apart, so it's not like a
Yeah,
complete bullet. So that's kind of like an
it's like
indicator. Yeah, it's kind of like an
it's
indication
like
that
broken glass. It's like getting hurt like
yeah,
broken glass.
yeah, exactly. But we'll
Mhm.
like like you said, a very cruel way to end the episode. We don't know how badly his injury could be,
Mhm. And
but
where this would take it, right?
yeah,
Like, obviously that blows their cover. So.
yeah. I mean, I love that even like Risui kind of noticed right away, right? He's like, well,
Mhm.
if she's smart enough, that means they're close. And then kind of like Stanley realized who Senku was because Senku kept trying to look at him. It's like, okay, well,
Mhm.
you're kind of giving your away who you are now. And even though Luna is the spy, you could tell she doesn't really vibe with how they do things because even she couldn't tell Stanley who Taiju was to shoot, right? She was just
Mhm.
kind of like super hesitant about that. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
um,
It was a nice little drama.
yeah. Oh, the one thing that we do find out that they want to try to use that they have against them is the Medusa ring.
Oh yes, that was a really good point. They were like, "Oh, now that we know who this guy is and
Yeah,
how fanatic he is to war, um, weapons and stuff." So
yeah, and also just Senku knowing that he's a man of science is like he would never pass up getting this sort of
even if it
technology.
doesn't work, yeah.
Yeah,
Even if it doesn't work, yeah.
yep.
Yeah,
Which
I'm excited. Exactly. He's gonna go. I'm excited where this is going.
yeah, I mean, this is like I said, this to me is like the best arc Duckstone has,
Right.
or like the best like saga, I guess you could call it, because this is all gonna culminate to a nice end. Um, but yeah, that's all for Duckstone. Medalist.
Medalist.
So we got a two-parter for this competition. Do we want to talk about the mishap with Inori first?
Yeah,
For
yeah.
for getting her own skates. Oh my god, that
How?
was
Yeah, I mean that was like such a tough cliffhanger.
yeah.
Tell us that it was left there. You know.
Which you were right.
I.
You were right. They did end up getting them somehow.
Mhm.
You know,
Yeah. Yeah,
but
they managed.
yeah, it was. I just really enjoyed that. Tsukasa
But
was
the
like,
coach had to pull. Yeah, exactly. The coach had to pull so much. You know,
yeah,
a
it
lot
just
of effort.
it goes to show like how much he's willing to like put into Inori, right? How much he believes in her
Mhm.
that he's like, well, I if I do this, I will be able to make it. I won't. He didn't run all the way there, but he definitely ran a portion of the way there and then took the train back
Mhm.
and then ran some
Mhm.
more.
Yeah.
uh, eh,
Yeah.
but I love that it was just like that whole time where we didn't know if he was gonna make it. Even you could feel like Inori was putting her whole faith in him.
Right.
Eh,
Yeah. Throughout her practice, it was so nice. Yeah, to see her
yeah, and
being even inspired by it. Right.
yep,
Like she was having like such a. Yeah. It was really cute.
yeah, and I did feel like a bit worry, once the coach was starting to talk to Tsukasa right before Inori, right, and he was like, they Inori can kind of pick up on your feelings, right? Like that's as part of the coach, you kind of start noticing
Mhm.
when they start growing, they pick up a lot of your insecurities and a lot of your feelings.
Mhm.
And I think in this one he kind of warns him also about like what happened with Emma and how like she was growing too rapidly and it was causing her to
Right.
like have pains and not be able to practice at all. And
Yes, her backstory was so wow. Because we kind of figure, or we kind of thought of her as just like a late starter,
Yeah,
but it wasn't anything like that, you know. It was that her growth spurt kept getting in the way and delaying her.
yeah,
Oh,
but
Emma's definitely uh, a nice little dynamic for Inori, you know.
yeah, I loved how they kind of like pointed that out to him. Like, as a coach, you kind of gotta know when your skater needs to take it easy.
Mhm.
Which in that during that time, I was like, okay, they are telling us this for a reason. Is Inori gonna fuck up? you know, I
Yeah.
was so worried that she was gonna fuck up, and we were she wasn't gonna do as well as they intended, because afterwards Tsukasa was like, we have your whole um, routine down. You just gotta stick
Mhm.
to your plan and land it. And he basically told her, you gotta land everything perfectly
Right.
to get number one spot.
That was, yeah.
And
I
also,
mean, you know,
yeah, and there
it's
was
it's
there,
the way that they, yeah, it's where they were at and what they needed to do.
yeah,
I like the certainty, not gonna lie. Like,
yeah,
you
it
know,
definitely
like,
it adds a bit more stakes to it, which I really enjoyed. And I also love that the rink manager, the one that where Inori was trading her worms to, showed up to watch her.
mhm.
I was nice of the old man.
Mhm. Yeah.
I mean, it
Yeah.
was
That was so nice.
it was so funny when she fell before her routine started, and the mother was like, "Oh, that took a bit of lifespan out of my years, right?" And the old
Yeah,
man was
and
like,
him,
"Oh," he's like,
that
"Oh,
almost killed me.
yeah,
I love that too. I love his, yeah, I love that he's a fan.
yeah,
Oh my god, but like I really like that when we start this competition, right off we start with like the fireball, like the fire fist feisty like talent seems like
yep," and
Nepo baby, you know?
yeah,
Like
and
fun and like and it's easy, you know, like she just like went there, killed it and walked out like two
yeah,
two.
they held the number one spot till Inori went in there.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Also, I almost thought like Inori was gonna somehow fall in the hole, right, or use the hole that
Right, right, right. That it was left there. Me too.
yeah,
I thought for a moment as well. Our girl was going to be victim of that. Yeah, me too. But luckily, yeah, nothing of that sort.
yeah, and then I guess they did that to kind of make us think about it. But if you really think about it, when Tsukasa was telling her how they were gonna do everything, it's like, because she was like kind of skating in the middle of the rink, right, or at least towards the
Mm-hmm.
middle more. And Tsukasa was kind of telling Inori, okay, your routine involves like staying close to the edges because it gives her more points. And I'm like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
well, then it kind of makes sense that she wouldn't fall in the hole when I thought about that. But I guess we'll. That's like episode 8. We should talk about the actual
Mm-hmm.
performances.
Yeah. So yeah, yeah. Now
Yeah,
in this week's episode, it's yeah, it's her performance and she killed it. She killed it. Even though she was, I mean, we were really seeing how she had to, you know, put a lot of strain, you know, effort and courage. She was. I love that she even got inspired there for a moment by the coach
yep,
and his dance and stuff.
yep.
I thought it was very, very well put because, and I love that he noticed it, of course, like he could tell that it was his move.
Yep.
So I thought that was a nice little touch.
Yeah.
I love that she got that burst of speed from the beginning, and she was like kind of like she was having like a aha moment
Yep.
where a lot of the things finally started making sense.
Yep.
So I really, really enjoyed this episode. And yeah, and I mean the performance was great. So
Yeah, she landed everything, like just as they
hmm
planned, and she
yes, exactly. And she took first place by also getting out of the 23s. She was
25 something,
yeah, exactly,
and
exactly, like a whole other point plus, yeah,
yep, and
thing.
I, it was like yes, she landed everything, and on her big walkout, her legs gave out on her.
I know, poor baby.
Yeah, and it was
He
like
doesn't have it that easy.
no, and then she even like throughout the performance, she was like, I hope everything holds out. It's like because she realized, oh,
I know, like she was like jelly, feeling like her legs like jelly. That
yeah, and she's like, I don't have the muscles to keep it up like this, and it was not just,
correct.
and then we start realizing it's because she was practicing way too much to the point where she developed the shin splints. I don't know if you've ever gotten them,
No.
but yeah, they're like really painful. Like it's like overusing a muscle in your leg, and then it just hurts to walk.
Yeah, it seems like a yeah, kind
And
of
yeah,
overuse or like.
well, yeah, she was practicing every day, and then obviously, in before this whole tourney thing was starting, she was practicing her routine just by walking. Still, so it was kind of like she was still using muscles over and over again. So I
Mhm.
wasn't surprised when they said shin splints. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Mhm. I was like, oh, don't give her the same thing as Emma, you know.
No, it wasn't
But
Emma's, but oh, okay,
but
Emma's.
Emma's performance was wow. I'm so glad that the Inori did what she did. Like she's a good girl. She's like, okay, well, let's go and take care of this, but can I at least see her performance and see what place I get from there?
Yep.
And then I don't have to be there for the ceremony. But and wow, they really make it on time, and glad she got to see that because she got inspired all other
Yeah,
new
I,
way. Like wow,
yeah,
even me, like I love that. Go ahead.
no, I was just gonna say like I loved how she made all the difficult jumps look easy, and then
Oh yeah.
the coach. I love how both these performances had like something that really was like the highlight of it for Inori was the fact that this her skating was her faith in her coach,
Mhm.
and Emma's skating was her resilience through all the struggles she went through.
Yeah, her honing it, like her, yeah, persistence
Yeah,
and the honing that it came from that. Yeah,
and that's why
yeah, it was so great. It was
yeah,
so great.
yeah, that's why her performance like kind of stood out more. Not just because she was doing all these other highly skilled moves that are like a tier above and doing them effortlessly, but also just I feel like the overall message that her performance was giving out was also like, wow, you know, you
Mhm.
could really, and I love that it was like she was so close. The coaches were so close to having to give her up, because they were like, oh, our school gets like 20 plus new members every year or something like that, and it was like we can't keep focusing on
Mhm.
somebody that's not producing
Yes.
us anything. And the coach almost gave up on her, but after seeing how she was struggling and You know, I
I know,
just
even with the food, that
yeah,
she was ready to give up food before giving up
skating.
skating.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah,
damn, like how can you do that to that? Yeah. No.
yeah. He's like, no, yeah. She loves skating, and that's why I think that's also like him showing his faith on her, like to have her persevere, and also like it wasn't just that she was slacking off the entire time she couldn't skate. She was still like mentally preparing for the time when she would be able to, and you know
Hmm.
getting the techniques down and stuff. It's just
Hmm.
it just really like if there was anybody that would beat Inori, it had to be Emma. Like.
Right, right, right.
And I love that even like that one like kid that had like the longest had the number one spot for the longest before these two performed was
Hmm.
like you know what, there are skillful people even in level 1 and 2 and
Yeah, right. Yeah. The one that came storming and think that she was just going to storm,
yeah,
yeah, the first place. And yeah, I love that too. I love that. She was, she got humble. Yeah, she humbled
yeah, got humble.
herself. And I love that the kind of toughy girl, like, um, she didn't even get a third place or anything. And she's getting paired up with her. I
Yep.
thought it was funny.
So they're gonna be competing with one another while teaming up with one another. Like good rivalry, honestly. Just like how like
Yeah.
Inori has Mike. Now they got
Hmm.
each other to like push one another.
Yeah.
and
Very beautiful. Hmm.
and I'm kind of like I'm not upset, but I'm like, damn, I would have loved to see what kind of performance Hikaru did this time around.
I know. We only see the little bit from the TV,
Yeah,
like just her getting the prize.
yeah. And the
Yeah.
girl, the girl that got second was like, oh, don't worry, I'm gonna humble her and I'm gonna take first place
Right.
and get second. But it's like the guy said, if in order to beat her, you gotta be able to beat an Olympian winner. So it's not as easy as people make it out to be to beat her.
Right.
Mm. Yeah, and yeah, and aside from that, I just love the talks that Tsukasa had with Inori, like in the train, and how he's like, you know, he told her like how things were, and then he's like, I see that there's a lot of for me to still grow as a coach,
Hmm.
and Inori realized that even though this wasn't something that he would like to have happen to her, it's something that they have to take seriously, and she's like, I'll be ready, and she's like, I believe in you, and that was a great moment, like
Hmm.
just once again the kids just believe in their coaches, and that's always good. um but yeah,
Where it goes from here.
I mean, we're probably gonna have more because this was during the summer, so maybe we'll see a bit of how Inori does in school now with more confidence, and then
Hmm.
and then maybe a time skip to when she can actually practice,
Right.
and then another tournament. Hopefully, one that
Right.
that she wins, because I do like that this was like the first major tournament that she participated in, but didn't fully win because she got second place. She still had
Yeah.
like great performance, great achievement to get second place, but she didn't get the gold.
Right.
And
It's
good
yeah.
at
I love that.
me
I'm
too.
gonna. I mean, chasing for that goal it can't come easy, and
Nope.
it was really nice to get it portrayed that everyone has their own uh, journey towards it. She's not.
Yep.
She is competing for people that feel the same passion and determination. So yeah,
Yeah.
very nice way to kind of finish this competition and start,
Start preparing for
again.
the next one. Yep.
Yeah, for the next one, exactly.
Which she already she's doing the little armband thing, with her arm to like get more muscle in her.
Mhm.
Funny. Um, but yeah, that's it for the for medalist.
Yeah,
Okay, you want to do the Apothecary Diaries?
yeah,
Or
let's see.
okay, all right. Let me just get the pictures up and running. Okay, Apothecary Diaries in 3, 2, 1, go. Apothecary Diaries, 2 episodes. So, uh, how did you like the Chinchi episode?
It was good. I love that and a little fan service that we got.
Yeah,
Didn't really tell him much.
yeah,
It's just him, having trouble sleeping
yeah,
and getting a little light exercise to go back and sleep. But those intrusive thoughts that he was having, whoa,
yeah,
what a when I feel like on at the first season she kind of stumbled to this kind of idea, but didn't really, I don't think she really like vocalized it or something. And then seeing him explain when he came to the realization of, you know of his position and existence per se.
yep,
um wow.
yeah. I For me it was almost really interesting because it's like he knows it has to be kept a secret that
Of course, of course. He's
but
very much like her in that regard, where he, even though they're very smart and above, like like not people, but like they're smart, like more
yeah,
intelligent than people. They still hold their place and status and act accordingly, kind of thing.
yep,
Um, so yeah, like wow, no, for sure, like me realize that, or like really, really, like, I mean, they could make it more clear, right?
yeah.
They,
Which he kind of wants, right? Because I think he even tells like
oh
he
yeah, he's
wishes that
like,
that she could know about it,
mm-hmm.
and that way it wouldn't he wouldn't. I think he does feel like a bit lonely, and just having Mama be one of the ones that learns it, obviously because of how he feels towards her and how she is, he knows like he can rely on her
I
to
know.
keep that secret.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
then we get a little bit about like the schools are finally built now and they're increasing.
And her going to fight, love that. I love
Yeah,
her going to see how everything is, and kind of giving it a thumbs up, being like, okay, I can I can get behind this kind of thing. Like, oh, I'm glad I got behind. You
yeah, I love that Mama will kind of tell Shinji, yeah, you can't show yourself there because what's gonna happen is they're not gonna want to stay studying.
know.
um that whole thing also, like, I guess because we're heading into the part where the emperor kind of shows up, right?
hmm
And he but
We've been saying how the emperor has been more, I don't know.
interested in
Yeah, like
Mamo.
No, not just that. Yeah, that, but like involve, or I mean, getting more screen time, I should
Yep,
say, instead of being just in the background, like and like a placeholder of person, of a high status person.
yep.
Now we kind of are getting more familiar, understanding and yeah.
No,
I mean, it started with the relationship with Jin,
yeah, how he's his brother.
brothers. Yes.
Crazy revelation.
Yeah, no, I mean that's crazy for real.
I mean, and it kind of makes sense based on like how they were giving him like a whole like ceremony in the last season, right? And you're kind of like any unit does not get that kind of ceremony.
Mhm.
So I guess now we definitely know like his position. Um,
Mhm.
and I love that they take kind of like this opportunity and they go to the real palace where they're supposed to bring like a concubine, right? With
Mhm.
and they're supposed to like lead the way for the next chosen apparently, right? And they go through it once and they don't end up in the place that they should
Oh,
have.
I love that. Yeah, I love that. Love that it was just by, I don't know, according to them, you know, by God or whatever, or intuition, or just
Yeah,
passed down. But obviously, I don't love it, but I thought it was funny how the old dude was teasing Momo throughout the whole thing. You know, the old dude teasing Momo about the cleverness and the mysterioususness of this mystery, and figuring it out.
yeah, and
And I like that the emperor was teasing her with him,
yep,
brother, like, you know,
yeah.
yeah,
So I love
that was
that.
good.
Yeah, I love that this was the way that, like you said, it was a very good way to get her to like retry, right? Because they used her dad, right, as kind of like the bait,
Mm-hmm.
and she just could not let it go.
No.
um, and then she realized, well, most of the times that an emperor would be chosen, they always brought somebody from the uh, royal bloodline, right? And we found out that this like bloodline was becoming extinct. So like in a way to preserve it, they had to like they always had somebody in the inside infiltrate and get close to the emperors, and they would keep passing on this bloodline, which most of them would be colorblind, and that's how they would
Yeah,
end.
that was it. That was the gene in the bloodline that, but like that happens to a lot of people. So it's really doesn't, your
Yeah,
pureness of it. But I can see why in those times seem like a very strong sign of it. So,
yeah. So because
so yeah.
that mother bloodline would always like be like the determining factor who gets to make it through. That's how they
Hmm.
kind of kept their own like descendants alive,
Hmm.
which I thought was like really
Yeah.
cool, you know.
Right.
And even so, like this just like going through this whole thing just made Momo like even more interested in Shinji, which
Right.
she's
And
so
and at the same time, she's like, no, 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 I cannot. I cannot. If I find something that I can. But
yeah,
it's like he wants you to, girl.
yeah,
He already made peace with it.
yeah. Your mic is breaking a bit, just letting you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it was a good episode. I really enjoyed this one. Uh, and then the next one, you might have to take a bit from it because I was watching it, but like I wasn't like super watching it. If you know.
Um, this one, I remember that there was a little rumor going around that the insect girl, that there's an like collecting incense, so they were telling them watch out, and it was the other girl.
Yep.
And she was having like she was livid for it, but obviously she loves the girl, and the girl gave her an idea. Oh no, the other girl gave her an idea, right, about how if she kept doing those weird things, she was going to be put in the storage. And she's like, actually, that would be much better for me. Like that actually would work better for me. So she
Uh,
requested to get the storage. And I mean, and now she's doing all her like, like a Momo lab.
yeah,
Very cool.
basically.
I loved it. I loved it. Very
Too.
excited what's gonna come from there. Um, what
Which
else happened in this episode? Uh-huh.
which I just to add on to that, I love that was supposed to be a punishment, and they were like telling her, "Oh, you're gonna feel so bad about it," and then the girl that told Momo about it was like, "Actually, she's all for it."
Yeah, yeah, it was fun. It was funny. Cute.
But
Yeah, and then how this lady, the Empress, was
yeah, the Empress
interested in
Dowager.
Momo now.
Yep.
Yeah, and put her to, find a riddle or like a truth. She told her that she believes that she cursed the dude.
Yeah, the last
And
Emperor.
again, yeah, and again that, puts her on a path to finding his truth, his, about him. So I thought that was interesting because seems like all the roads are leading. So going to definitely start heading to her knowing that truth and him knowing that she knows. Excited for that now because I definitely, like him, feel like that's gonna bring them
Yeah. I
excited
just
for that.
I just love that Momo's just mm, getting closer and closer to higher ranked people, and not really
Well,
even though
yeah.
her initial thought was her initial like way to survive in here was like don't do anything that's unnecessary, and now she's like
Mm-hmm.
kind of getting herself involved without trying with like higher people.
Mm-hmm. Well, he
And
did, he did get like a liking on her in a way.
yeah, other thing that I found really interesting is that this Empress was the had like a C-section because she couldn't have her child the
Right.
normal way, and she made the current other clinic where all the lady in waitings go right when they're sick.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one that
Yeah.
started all that, and that's where like she had her her child that died, you know.
Wow. Yeah.
So it's and also we still don't know how people found out about the abortion drug, right? And how to make
Right.
it. So there's like
Momo does seem to be suspicious. There is so much going around with that information.
yes,
You know. So
we
we're so it seems that we're, sooner or later we're gonna find out who's behind this. Just yeah,
yeah, this is
good
gonna
stuff. Looking forward to a lot of things.
me too. We got plenty because it's a
Um,
two core season. So
oh, beautiful.
yeah,
Good, good, good. Yeah, it seems like they're laying a lot of ground
yep, laying a lot of
and
ground.
definitely getting, their characters more expanded, like especially
Yeah,
like with the Empress and the Emperor. Mm-hmm.
yeah. I'm having a hard time keeping up with everybody, but I'm doing my
In a
best.
way, I'm not any the yeah, like the servants and things. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
everybody's
no, yeah,
doing
yeah.
like
But no, the Apothecary Diaries is great. I'm enjoying it.
of course, yeah.
Yeah,
Well said.
that's it on this one.
Alrighty.
My Happy Marriage, episodes 7 and 8. So
What
Yeah, go on.
they're living in the palace, right? Like
Yeah, so like something happened where like now it's not safe to be in with Kiyoka in the government place that he works at, right? So like now they moved
mhm.
her closer to
Yeah,
the
they were at the government and now they're moved to the
near the
yeah, the
prince
palace
near the prince
with the
base.
prince because the prince also needs protection.
Yep. Which I
So
find
they actually
hmm?
did kidnap the emperor, right?
They did, but they were but it was I think they did or they attempted to. I don't recall exactly if they managed to do it. Um, I'm assuming they did, and then they caught him because otherwise, you know. But it is also very intriguing. I think the emperor, the or the prince, whatever, had like a he has like a foresight or something, right? Where he's like somebody's
Right.
gonna betray me,
Right.
and that's also why they want to protect them from like the people surrounding them.
Right.
Which
Right. Right.
which I
And joining forces because um the Mio's husband is the one that needs to be protecting the prince.
yes,
So that's why they bring Mio there so he can do his work too.
and also
Even though yeah.
and
Mhm.
also Arta is closer, so like Mio can continue her like training to develop her own like supernatural
Yeah.
skill.
Yep.
And yeah, I love that Mio kind of like questions a bit, right? How if she's even independent of Kyoka for a bit, right? And then
Mhm.
how she also gets like her first actual like visit to the New Year's shrine. I was like, oh, you poor girl, you know, like all
Oh,
those.
I know. That was yeah, so cute.
Yeah,
But then she did say that it wasn't the first time though, because she does remember going with her mama. So that was cute too.
yeah, and it's just like really interesting that we get like the was it the gifted comedian also kind of like appears in here, but they bring out like grotesque features. I think they call them the grotesques, and then they kind of demonstrated how you could battle or like you can like get rid of them if you had like you know the super abilities, and that they were gonna be they were basically trying to convert people, and somebody got a wind of it, or like Kyoko sent a message, and they came in to like arrest them, but it was also kind of like it almost seemed like they were trying to make the own government look bad, right? Like how oh
Mhm. Oh yeah.
these are secrets that they're keeping from you because like I don't people have never seen them or something like that, and now that they
Yeah.
have, they wouldn't be able to unsee them.
And they were discussing that too. That how like they already infiltrated the government.
Yep.
They have already people, you know, moles and spies. So yeah, I mean things are really serious in this um
Yeah.
like civil war in a way with like against the government.
Yeah, and they do point out because of like everything that's happening, like that they're not like being made aware of all this info that there is already a distrust in the government,
Mhm.
and just these people that just saw this grotesque kind of made it even hard, even like worse.
Mhm. Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
think one of the really juicy parts of this episode was when Mio saw her mom and
Yes.
Usui again in her dream, right?
Again together. Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit older time.
Yep.
So they already have like more of a, you know, characteristic, more of a personality.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, you know, for her it was uh, scary or just alarming how it felt like they could see her, right? Or he could.
Yeah, that was also like
And
creepy to me. Like
yeah, that
he was
was that
just
was.
he was just staring at her. And I was like,
Mhm.
ooh, like damn. Okay,
Yep.
really, really creepy stuff. But uh, Kyoka finally like lets Mio know that he wants to learn more about her. Very cute.
Mhm. Yeah, and they slept together finally,
Yeah, in
same
the
bed.
episode, in the next episode, yeah, they finally slept after fighting for who gets the floor. They both decided, well, we'll just get both the bed. Just you know,
So great. Yeah,
don't look
beautiful,
at each other.
beautiful. So cute, so cute.
Which,
Yeah,
since
and
we're already
then
talking about that, um, Kyoka finally confesses to Mio, right? He's like, I love you, and I want to keep falling in love with you deeper. And he does say that, which is really interesting, right? Because he did tell her, prior to meeting you, I had no interest in like
my
confronting
emotions.
my
Yeah,
emotions or my feelings, and I would just throw them away. But with you, it's like I'm definitely not trying to run away from them now, right?
right. He
So
wants to experience them all. How cute it was. Way to vocalize their love.
yeah,
I love that they were having a girls' sleepover.
yes,
They're very cute. Of good part of it took a good part of the episode. Their little sleepover. I love who took part of it, even if it was through magic.
yeah. Apparently, Kyoka's sister has magic that allows her to communicate with people through mirrors. Who would have thought? And they
I love her little uh,
go ahead. I think you were gonna talk about the same thing.
story. Her story about with her husband.
X.
You know, ex-husband. Yeah, with her ex-husband. It was very cute how she, you know, does say that everyone experiences love and grows to love or loses love, for all types of reasons. It's more than anything how you handle it than the other person.
Yes.
So that was very cute. Very, very good episode.
Yeah.
Um
I love the way Koroku uh Karoku kind of says love is kind of
yeah.
like being drunk, where
Yes.
when you're drunk, you're infatuated by it, but as soon as you sober up, it's kind of like, oh, like it could leave like
Yep.
a yeah, could
That
be
was
kind of
good.
yeah, very good. Uh, and I do the other parts that I were kind of fun in this episode, or like not
Mhm.
fun, but like aside from the girl thing was
Mhm.
how Arata was kind of like talking to Mio, right? And because he's like the main head of security now, because they're with the
Yeah.
prince, uh, which I found very alarming because he saw Usui and is alive. So I'm
Yeah.
very alarming. He kind of told her like, your powers should have awakened by now. Like I don't know what's causing them to, not awaken or like be held back, but some certainly going on with that, and I'm willing to bet it's just her
Mhm.
dreams are kind of the reason why, because it always he also did say that her powers kind of are connected to her emotions, and because
Right, right.
her dreams are always like frightening and kind of like she probably wants to like shelter herself from it,
Mm.
and I feel
Yeah,
like
I feel like we're close to her awaken.
me too.
I
And
hope. I hope. Yeah, I hope we get that. Over that wall and
yeah,
see her. Yeah,
we need to see
overcoming.
yeah,
Overcoming. Yeah.
yeah, we need to see her overcome it. All the people that were with the prince all look like scumbags, by the way. Like they all feel like they
Oh,
had
yeah.
ulterior motives
Hmm.
for being there,
I
and
agree with you on that.
especially that one guy that actually showed up to the mansion is like, if you use your powers for me, I'll give you like blank amount of money, and it's like,
Yeah.
oh, very very scumbagish, but uh, my Happy Marriage is so good. Um,
Yeah, I agree.
I am loving it and uh, can't wait for more, honestly. But
Yeah.
I think that's it.
Yeah,
So
that's it.
so
That's it.
YouTube. We stream these over on Twitch. If you want to see them a day or a few days early, come to the Twitch streams. It'll be in the description. And if you like what we discuss, you can talk with us in the comment section. So like, comment, subscribe, so you don't miss out on any discussions. And
Mhm.
until next time, bye.
Until next time. Good. Bye
Okay.
bye. Goodbye.